Otakuology Podcast with Otaku Mike and Jin Graves.
Hello and welcome back to the Otakuology Podcast. I'm Otaku Mike. With me as always is Jin Graves. And this is Gotta Read 'em All, a Pokemon podcast. We are back again.
Talk about Poké Balls.
Where we talk about Poké Balls. We are back again with another episode for you guys today. Even with that horrible intro. But we are back again.
Hey buddy. I like to think that all of our intros are horrible. So it just all makes the world right, okay?
I guess so.
Yeah.
But we are back with another episode, and we are on Chapter 18, A Tale of Ninetales. That's a mouthful.
Yeah, it is.
Nine-tail tales.
Ninetales.
My nine-tail tall tales on the seashore.
Oh my god, no.
No, why not?
No, not that many. Not that many.
So, last off, we left Green and Red. They were together trying to get Mew. That was very unsuccessful. Now, we start out with, we see Blue. He's in the Rocket Game arcade. I guess he's cashing in his chips or his coins to get a Pokemon. And we find out that apparently these Pokemon are harder to train than normal wild Pokemon. They're a little bit more feisty, I guess you could say. But it's really good to see Blue back, I gotta say. I like that Blue has come back into the story. Because we haven't seen him since, what, chapter 15?
Yeah.
Was it? Or 14?
It was before that, I think.
Yeah.
15.
But we have...
I think it was like 12.
Maybe. Who knows? It's been a while. We'll have to go back and look. It was with the Arbok. Whenever the Arbok showed up. Arbok and...
That was the last two chapters in.
Arbok and like Koga.
Yeah.
Yeah. But he's there in Celadon City, or outside Celadon City, and Red is running, I guess, to Celadon City, and we find that I guess Blue lost control of his Porygon and kind of bumps into Red, and all the Pokeballs fall out everywhere.
Which I thought these were Pokeballs that he had thrown. That was the thing that threw me off.
Oh, I guess, yeah, because this isn't very clear about... Because you see Red running, and then Porygon shows up in front of Red, and then all the Pokeballs fall out on the ground. So was it they accidentally bumped into each other?
Because this low-key pissed me off. I was like, you mean that when I played Pokemon games, I could have just walked up to every Pokeball that me or somebody else threw and lost and pick it up and not have to buy any more damn Pokeballs? That would have been amazing.
Yeah. Yeah, and this part where we see Blue, we see Red, and he's like, yes, Blue, oh, is that your Pokemon? And Blue, Red's all enamored by this Porygon, because Porygons are apparently really rare, or kind of rare in the Pokemon universe.
Right. Well, and I really think that this is the only place that I even know in a game to pick up a Porygon.
I think so. I think you might be right.
So,
to be honest, I think you're right about that. Is this in the arcade?
Yeah.
And Blue's having a little bit of a tough time trying to wrangle in Porygon, which I didn't know Porygons were so feisty. I didn't even know Porygons could move, to be honest.
I didn't know Porygons moved.
I mean, I never used Porygon ever in a Pokemon game.
Well, off of the last one that we talked about,
Uh-huh.
I think like Jinx, Porygon is one of the most underused Pokemon when it comes down to it, because the same thing, like if you don't go to the arcade, like you can't get one.
Yeah, true. And you have to play the slot machines to get one. And
Yeah,
play all those little mini games and whatnot.
right.
But green is able to get blue is able to get control of his Polygon. Did I say Polygon? Porygon.
Poliwrath.
No, Poliwrath. I'm confused now.
Is it the boxy looking Pokemon or the blue one?
The boxy one.
Porygon.
That's why I said Polygon for some reason.
I thought you were like circling back to Polygon or Poliwrath, and I was like, I don't remember him being in this chapter except when he was running, but okay.
I meant to say Porygon, but I wanted Polygon.
Oh my
So
gosh.
blue
Maybe we
leaves.
can go. Maybe we can get a Porygon at Porygon Alley.
Maybe. But blue ends up leaving to go off on his journey, I guess you could say. And red happens to run into this woman and I think her daughter, and they're being attacked by a Rhyhorn, a Marowak, and a Graveler. I hope I got those Pokemon right. And Red's like, all right, it's my chance to be a hero. And who does he pull out? Not Pikachu.
A Charmeleon.
He pulls out Charmeleon and he's like, what the fuck is going on? What the fuck is going on? And he finds out none of his Pokemon are with him whatsoever. So
Right.
he's got Golduck, Machamp, Pidgeot, and then Scyther. Right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Golduck, Machoke, Pidgeot, Scyther, and then Charmeleon.
And none of these Pokemon end up listening to him whatsoever.
Well,
I like this part.
He's got the Porygon too.
Oh, true, he's got Porygon. But none of these Pokemon listen to him, and Red gets stomped the fuck out by the Rhydon or the Rhyhorn.
Yeah.
It's like Godzilla stepping on a little person, like a person. It seems like. I like that he's inside the imprint of the
right
of the foot.
Well,
I thought that was funny.
It made me think of the opening of Gravity Falls, where they're looking at a footprint and they're inside of a footprint.
Yeah.
So they think that they're looking at Bigfoot, and there's an even bigger foot. Or like the T-Rex mark, where the water's vibrating in it. And I was like,
yeah,
man, this is weird.
Yeah.
Because they're not supposed to be that big.
But none of the Pokemon want to listen to Red. They kind of turn their backs on him and put their noses up in the air. They're like, we don't want to deal with you. And they start like exercising and jogging. He's like, what the fuck are they doing? Are they just sitting around here jogging and not what's going on? Like, why are they doing this? Because as you find out that Blue trains them like this. They're all about training.
Automatically working out? What the fuck?
Yeah, like what the fuck? And I think this part's really funny where they go into the water, or Red goes into the water. He's like, come on, guys, let's go for a swim. The water's nice. And you see Charmeleon, he's like, I can't fucking get in the water. What the fuck you trying to do? Kill me?
I think it was like, I'm ready. I'm ready.
We get the reverse on this, and we see what happened to Blue, and Blue has Red's Pokemon, and he's training them and trying to get them all like pumped up, and I guess they're listening to him. Maybe Blue is the better trainer in this scenario. And I like this.
I don't know. So because we get this Blue being hard doing a training regiment, and we
Uh-huh.
get Red kind of being the one slacking off and everything. And I really feel like looking at this, what it's telling us is, even though you can work your guys hard and you
Hmm.
can have free time too. So it's kind of like finding that happy medium in between.
Yeah, no, most definitely, most definitely. No, I do agree with that aspect.
Especially one of the things that pops up here closer to the end of it.
Yeah, no, I agree. I agree. I was just trying to make a blue joke and say blue was better than red,
Your blue joke.
because blue blue handles his Pokemon, and
Well, technically
he's
at this point, blue is better than red because he's caught more Pokemon.
that is true. But I like this scene where it's like we see 3 days later, and 3 days later, Red is camping with Blue's Pokemon. And I like this little panel right here. I need this as something to where Red is roasting a weenie on Charmeleon's tail. I was like, huh, smart, Red, really smart.
I don't have to make my own fires anymore. I got one.
Well, he has a fire going on in this scene, but he's
Right.
putting it. He's roasting the hot dog on
It's too far
Charmeleon's
away.
tail.
It's too far
That's too
away. I
far.
can't do anything with it.
Well, if you look in this scene, and then the panel next to it, he's next to the fire, and they're on the other side of the fire. But in this
Yeah.
scene, in this panel, he's next to Charmeleon,
Yeah.
next to his tail.
Yeah.
This was
Goodness. I
weird.
wonder I wonder if he thinks that it'll taste different.
Oh yeah, maybe. Who
So,
knows?
which we do see too coming up that he caught a Diglett and a Krabby, which
Yeah,
aren't Diglett and Krabby part of his original team as well? I couldn't remember that
I don't think so.
because I thought at one point he's got a Kingler and he's got a
Are you
Dodrio.
thinking of Krabby? Krabby was in the anime.
No, I think it's later on in this. Maybe
Oh, okay.
I think he evolves them and he uses them,
Oh,
but I can't remember if it's part of if he has them for a little bit and then kind of like gets rid
hmm
of them or what.
who knows? It's really they don't really specify that in this particular chapter.
Yeah.
But Red sees a Ninetales off in the distance, and somebody is fighting the Ninetales. We find out that is Blue. And I like this
Pikachu.
scene right here. Excuse me. I like this scene right here where Pikachu is fighting the Ninetales. We find out that Pikachu can learn more attacks than just electric
Electric.
attacks. He
Yeah.
learned Toxic. And I was like, how does Pikachu learn
Wait,
Toxic?
he learned Toxic.
Yeah, that's what it says in my book.
Is it on the panel that says jab?
It says Pikachu, use the trick I taught you. And then it goes from that into here, and it says Toxic.
That's
Where,
weird. Mine says tail strike.
okay, well, he is fighting with his tail,
And
but it
then
says Toxic.
right above where his tail is, it says jab.
Yes, it does say jab, yes.
That's weird.
Yeah. But I mean, this is not the first difference we have found.
You guys that keep rewriting this shit are breaking my fucking heart. How many fucking times are you gonna change fucking moves on a Pokemon? Shit.
I mean, you have to think, like, I think it
Well,
was time for a new translation for Pokemon.
hey, buddy, I really don't think that Pikachu can learn Toxic either, so I'm not sure.
Well, this one knows Toxic, so
It's going to be like Ash's special Pikachu that knows Surf.
do you think he puts on Toxic by Britney Spears? Do you think
And
that's how
then
he
he,
learned how to
and then he
train?
slaps and then he slaps people with his tail.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
Toxic.
uh, Well, this is a male Pikachu, so I don't know. I was gonna make a joke about maybe he puts on womanizer, but I guess that's not a thing because then he would be the womanizer.
True.
We
True.
also don't know if this Ninetales is male or female, so
Yeah. But I like this fight between Pikachu and Ninetales. I think it's really cool. Um, the different fighting styles between blue and red in
yeah,
this aspect, because we've seen blue fight a little bit, but not
right.
very much. And then red decides to show up and get his big fat head and everything. And he's like, "Oh no, you're doing this wrong, Red." Red's like, "Oh, you're doing this wrong." He shows up with Machoke, and Machoke comes in and tackles uh Ninetales, and then as he's doing this, Machoke evolves into what's his
Well,
face?
Machoke is getting burned by Ninetales,
Yeah,
and in this point from Red's kind of downtime training, whatever, he evolves into a Machamp.
yeah. It says Machoke in this page, and in the next page, it's Machamp.
Yeah,
So he evolved right then and there.
yeah, yeah. As he was pinning down
Yeah.
Ninetales. Yeah,
But red, no, green, no, blue takes red's Pokeball, throws it at Ninetales, and captures the Ninetales. I think that's what
no, they
happens.
both throw a Pokeball together.
Oh, did they? Oh,
Yeah, and then Red's complaining about his got there first, and um, he's talking about his Machamp weakened it. Which the thing is, I agree that Machamp helped, but the other thing is that I feel like he should have said is, "Well, I used your Pikachu and beat the shit out of it." Okay.
true. Yeah, Machamp put those MMA elbows onto Ninetales. You can see him in the picture. He's literally like elbowing him in the face.
Right. Yeah. He's got him in that suppression hold.
Yeah, but Blue is able to get the Ninetales away from Red, and now Blue has a Ninetales.
Right.
Uh,
And his
yeah,
Machamp. Which
but I like this scene. I like this scene. That scene was cool.
I
And
question on the next one because we do see this thing, which we do have those supernatural power things that we find out every. I almost said Digidestin. Every main Pokemon trainer has,
yeah,
and I can't remember what it is, but I think Reds is knowing how to make them comfortable enough to evolve faster.
yeah,
I think this is one of the first big ones besides Poliwrath that we actually see.
mm-hmm, yeah. Because
Um,
he kind of comforts all of Blue's Pokemon.
right, right, and I love that because we have this. He's like, oh well, I made Red's Pokemon twice the fighters that he ever could, and but
But
there was something off because how could I train Machamp or Machoke, my bad, whatever, so much and still couldn't ever get him to evolve while Red was able to do it with ease.
mm-hmm. I like this scene right here where we see Blue with his Pokemon, and like Porygon is snuggling up to it.
Yeah. Oh man, everybody's so happy go lucky.
And they're all like, "Oh, we're happy, yay!"
Although when you look at the expression on Ninetales' face, it's like, what's going on? Did I miss
Like,
something?
what the fuck?
Yeah.
He's
Which I
got
really
that nervous
wonder.
sweat drop going on.
I wonder who he's going to trade around. If he's going to send Ninetales back, or if he's going to keep Ninetales and send somebody else back.
Hmm.
That way he
Well,
has his team of six.
He's got 7 Pokemon. You're right.
Yeah, so he's going to have to
Yeah.
send somebody back. I wonder if he's going to send Machamp back, or if he's going to send Ninetales, or if he's going to pick one of the other ones.
I would like him to keep Ninetales and probably send Pidgeot back.
You take that back, mister.
I want to see what he does with Porygon, to be honest.
That's
Like
true.
I want to see what Porygon can do.
Great. I've never gotten to see it before. I want to.
I've never gotten one before.
I don't know. I don't know what he does. I want to see.
I don't even know if he moves.
That's true. You did say that. Does he move? Uh, but going down to the end of this, because this is right before we get into it's split down the middle. Chapter 19 starts on the next page. But we have where Ash is kind of playing with the Pokemon, and all of them have.
You mean Red?
Yeah, Red. My bad. And all of Red's Pokemon have these serious looks on their faces. Like,
they look like they're about to kill him.
They do. And he says, "Hey guys, let's go for a little cycle training. Let's go." And they're all serious. And he goes, "I bet you can't catch me." And he's like, "Oh my god. You're scaring me. Stop."
Yeah. So, I mean, the
Pokemon.
Pokemon both learned something in this.
Right.
They both took something away from each trainer.
Right. And I feel like that's probably the best thing out of this a lot, is that we do have both sets of trainers that are rubbing off on each Pokemon. Now, the weird thing is ultimately at the beginning, like we saw that Blue did have more Pokemon, right? Well, the other thing we have to see with this now is that even though all of this stuff has kind of rubbed off or whatever, and Red or Blue had 3 of the Pokemon to train,
Your
this
dog
all
says hi.
isn't the entire. Yeah, somebody knocked on the door. I think I got a package in the mail. So my dogs are saying hi back. Hey buddy. Hey buddy.
Hey buddy, what's going on?
Yeah, they were getting ready for me to get on the cycle and run for help. But we do see that. We see where even though these are the only 3 Pokemon really that Blue trains of Red's, we do get to see more out of it. So I think at the end of this chapter, we do see more of how Red is a better trainer than Blue to some extent, because Blue mostly keeps the same team going forward, and Red just has these 3 that Blue has influenced. So I think it's kind of a thing, kind of like we said before, like Red does have to get a little more focused on some training and whatnot, but and it'll happen eventually, but
hopefully.
But I think it also was a wake up call for Blue to, hey, for your Pokemon to evolve, for them to go through this, you can't rigorously keep having them do this stuff. You have to have some fun time. You have to do some of this other stuff. That way your Pokemon will turn around and will actually evolve and do all this other stuff, because they have to feel as comfortable as you're making it as well.
Yeah, no, I totally agree with that aspect. It's like they basically took things away from each other as well, and they took away from the Pokemon.
Right?
It's like a reverse training or something.
Sort of, yeah.
Yeah. So what'd you think about this chapter?
I think so far out of this book, this is probably my favorite chapter.
I did enjoy this chapter quite a bit. I liked seeing Blue return. I liked the different dynamics between the Pokemon and what they were doing. Nothing really too spectacular story wise. It's a very low key story. There's no stakes in the story whatsoever, and it's just simple story, and almost like a palate cleanser of some sorts.
Right. Yeah.
Essentially, yeah.
Yep. I do have to say that, because we are getting to where different people are becoming more valuable as we kind of move forward from there. And I think it is becoming more of a good laid out story, where we have these things that Red is focusing on a little more, as well
Yeah.
as some other bits and pieces, because we are trying to keep Blue into it, but in this first thing, it all really is based around Red.
Yeah, true.
So,
Yeah.
but yeah,
But
so
as always,
yeah, so our next one
is
will
number
be
19.
number 19. Blame it on Eevee. So stay tuned for the next exciting episode of Gotta Read 'Em All as we journey farther into Pokemon Adventures, Chapter 19, and obviously we'll get to see an Eevee.
Yeah.
And so hopefully it's relevant to the chapter, unlike most of the other guys.
True.
But yeah, stay tuned for more great content coming from the Otakuology podcast. Check us out on everywhere, honestly.
All podcast platforms. Check out our YouTube channel, Otakuology Podcast, and the Gotta Read 'Em All Pokemon channel
Right.
as well, where we put all of our Pokemon content up there,
Right.
which slowly gets put out occasionally
That's true.
when we have time.
That's true.
Yeah.
But anyway, as always, we'll see you next Tuesday. Thanks for
Bye.
listening.